John, would you mind if I added what you shared with me to my prayer list? You know, John, there's a lot of brokenness in the world, isn't there? Do you mind if I take a few minutes to share with you what I have learned about brokenness? I'm going to draw 3 circles to explain it. If you turn on your TV or you look at your Facebook feed, it's very obvious that we live in a broken world. There's a lot of death, a lot of disease, a lot of suffering. But at the same time, we see glimpses of goodness and beauty, like the beauty of the sunset or the laugh of a child. Those are glimpses, they're reminders that this brokenness was not God's way. His design was perfect when He made it. There was no death or disease or suffering. But starting with the very first people, we as humans chose to go our own way and leave God's perfect design. That's called sin. Sin is what led to all of this brokenness in our world. Now, part of the problem is that we try to escape this brokenness by our own means, on our own. Some try to get out of the brokenness by climbing the ladder of success at work, school, thinking that will get them out. Some try to escape brokenness by gaining wealth. They think that maybe if they get enough stuff, they can escape the brokenness that they feel on the inside. Others try to get out of brokenness by doing good things or being religious, going to church and helping people. And while those things are good, they don't get us out of brokenness. Some try to drown out the brokenness with drugs and alcohol or overeating, maybe some other addiction. Others try to escape the brokenness through relationships. And they just seem to keep moving from one relationship to the next, trying to escape the brokenness. The problem with all these things is that they're like a bungee cord. The more we try to get away from brokenness in our own ways, by our own ways, it just snaps us right back deeper into brokenness than we were before. But God loved us so much, He didn't want us to stay in brokenness. So He did for us what we could not do for ourselves. He provided the only way out, and that is through His Son Jesus. Jesus came down to our world and allowed Himself to be killed on a cross, taking on our sin. And 3 days later He rose up from the dead, and He declared that if anyone would turn from their way and surrender to Him, and believe that He died on the cross and rose from the dead, and would be willing to make Him King or their Lord, that they would be forgiven and made new, and then would be able to experience God's perfect design and plan for their lives. John, which of these 2 circles would you say you're in? Would you say you're still in brokenness? Or have you trusted in Jesus Christ and are now following His plan and design for your life? Okay, you're in brokenness. A lot of people are. But which one of these 2 do you want to be in? Okay, great. John, is there anything that is keeping you from accepting the forgiveness that Jesus offers and asking Him to take over the plan for your life? Okay, great. You know, when I chose to make this decision, I prayed a simple prayer, very similar to this picture. I just told God that I'm sorry for my sin, that I need His help. I'm ready to turn from my way and all these things that I tried to do and surrender to Him, and that I believe all of this is true. Is that something you would like to do, John? Great. I can lead us in a prayer, and we can tell God just what you've told me.